If you told me a year ago that the next chapter of my life would start because a kid snuck past penthouse security and claimed my wife wasn't dead, I'd have laughed in your face, probably spilled my bourbon too. But that's exactly how it began. Picture this. A billionaire tech mogul holed up in his glass fortress in Manhattan, pouring another drink, still haunted by a 5-year-old tragedy yacht explosion in the Mediterranean. The love of my life gone, nothing left but ashes and that sickening silence nobody talks about. You ever lose someone and have the world expect you to just move on? Yeah, that happened. And then, just as I resigned myself to routine charity galas and empty nights, my head of security, William, She's got a look that says, "Boss, you won't believe this." Turns out, a girl no older than 10, skin the color of polished mahogany, shoes scuffed, clothes worn thin, had somehow slipped through the cracks of a building where the entry list is usually tighter than Fort Knox. She's demanding to see you. Says it's urgent. I was ready to wave it off, tell William to send her home. But then he said it. She claims she knows something about Mrs. Reed. My glass froze halfway to my lips. The guards brought her in. Way too rough for someone her size. Suspicion is a reflex in this world. You know what I mean? She didn't flinch. "My name's Amara," she said, voice steady, eyes sharp as diamonds. "Your wife, Vanessa, she's alive. I escaped from a place where they keep women. She has a butterfly birthmark on her right shoulder. She told me to find you." My legs went cold. That mark wasn't public knowledge. It was our secret. That's when Marcus, my assistant, jumped in, all skepticism and corporate caution, but Amara met him head-on, told him exactly how she got past security. I watched her, searching for a sign. She was coached nothing. Then she said she'd memorized a message. "Tell Jack the butterfly still flutters." Monaco sunset, first date. The world sort of spun sideways, and for the first time in years, hope burned through my fog of grief, so hot it hurt. You ever have your reality crack open like that? Let me back up a sec because this is where things went from bizarre to dangerous. I sent everyone out but Amara. She told me her story, taken from her grandma's in Harlem, whisked to a wellness center upstate Clearwater. Women drugged, kids separated. She saw Vanessa, lucid only sometimes, kept apart from the rest, said my name, described my building, my job, the whole 9 yards. And get this, she escaped during a transfer, ran for her life, waited outside my building for 2 days before sneaking in. She had nothing to gain by lying. She just wanted to keep her promise. That night, I let her stay in the guest room. Didn't sleep a wink myself. By morning, word of the mystery girl had already spread among staff. Even the housekeeper eyed her like she was radioactive. William confirmed most of her story, including a death certificate for her grandmother signed by a doctor who'd retired years ago. Signature was forged. Someone wanted the trail cold. Amara drew maps, described the facility of fence, woods, fake hospital signs. When I asked what she remembered, she mentioned a red bird on the equipment of Phoenix. That sovereign symbol, my rival's company. The twist? Board members and staff started whispering. I caught 2 guards speculating out loud, painting Amara as some street hustler playing the poor orphan for my money. Racism, plain and simple, running just below the surface, ready to surface at the slightest chance. It was a gut punch, a reminder that even in the lap of luxury, people see what they expect to see. That same day, Diana Chin, the best PI in the city, told me she'd always doubted the official story about Vanessa's death. Turns out, Sovereign bought the salvage rights to my yacht right after the explosion, then patented new medical tech months later. This wasn't just a family tragedy. It was corporate warfare. Amara started school at Westbridge Academy. She didn't fit in, not with her skin, her smarts, her story. Kids whispered. Teachers talked down to her. "They think I'm your secret daughter," she told me. I wanted to burn the place down, but she just shrugged. "Let's focus on what matters." That's grit. Meanwhile, Child Protective Services came knocking. Someone had flagged our situation as suspicious. The racial undertones were loud and clear. A rich white guy with a black child. And suddenly, every assumption about trafficking, exploitation, or worse was on the table. I brought in my legal team. But it was clear Amara's presence in my world made us both targets for the biases that never really left America's bloodstream. Diana kept digging and found a pattern: missing women from all walks of life, some wealthy, some poor, many from marginalized backgrounds, all with one thing in common: gone without a trace, sometimes right after their husbands sold their tech to Sovereign. Amara recalled details about a facility in Kingston. Catskills property records led us right to Sovereign's shell company. Diana and I went up there. The place was a ghost town, but not clean restraints, shredded documents, evidence of pharmaceutical trials. We'd stumbled onto something much bigger, a trafficking and medical harvesting operation, hiding behind the mask of wellness. The more we dug, the more dangerous it got. Security found trackers in Amara's jacket and shoe. We were followed, surveilled, set up for a boardroom coup. Me own CFO and assistant, guys I trusted for decades, turned out to be working for the enemy. Jeffrey tried to frame me as mentally unstable, accused me of everything from trafficking to murder. They almost succeeded. The police were at my door, surveillance footage doctored, evidence planted. Only my contingency escape through tunnels I'd built years ago out of paranoia saved me. While I was on the run, Amara and Diana tracked leads to Singapore, and then to a private island off Malaysia where Sovereign hid their most valuable assets. We disguised ourselves, hacked security systems, even used local contacts to sneak onto the island facility. Amara's memory for layouts and faces was uncanny. What we found was horrific. Women and children kept in comas, their genetic material harvested for the world's elite. And there, behind glass, was Vanessa. Older, thinner, alive but sedated. Victor Reynolds, Sovereign CEO, caught us gunpoint, gloating, sure he'd won. But I'd been recording everything, transmitting his confession via encrypted satellite channels. In the chaos that followed alarms, gunfire, the arrival of an FBI Interpol task force, Diana's evidence triggered an international raid. We got out, just barely, dragging Vanessa and Amara to safety. The media spun the story every way they could, painting me as both villain and hero, always with the racial angle lurking in the background. Even after the truth came out, some people clung to the old narrative. But Vanessa woke up. Amara stayed with us. We formed a new family, broken, battered but unbowed. And with the Reed Johnson Foundation, we started fighting back, using my tech and resources to rescue more victims and expose the rot at the heart of the system. Now, sometimes at night, I wonder, would you have believed Amara if she'd shown up at your door? Or would you have dismissed her like everyone else? How many truths go unheard because of what we expect from a voice, a face, a child? Share your thoughts below. If this story stirred something in you, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and remember, sometimes the person society tries hardest to silence is the one holding the key to justice. What would you do when the world says, impossible, but your heart says, believe?